Some days it feels like you're carrying more than your fair share, doesn't it? The stress, the pressure, the expectations, they all stack up, quietly, invisibly, and before you know it, you're walking through your day with a smile on your face and a storm in your chest. You show up to work, you take care of your family, you try to stay positive, but inside you're running on fumes, emotionally drained and mentally fried. And yet, you keep going. But let me ask you something. How long can you keep doing that without breaking down? We all know how to build physical strength. We go to the gym, we follow routines, we push through pain to get stronger. But when it comes to our emotional and mental fitness, most of us were never taught how to train for that. No one taught us how to stay grounded when someone betrays your trust. No one gave us tools for when life gets heavy and we feel like no one understands. No one prepared us for the nights when our mind won't shut off and the weight of everything starts to feel unbearable. So let me say this, if you're struggling right now, you're not broken, you're just untrained. Mental resilience isn't about being tough. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about learning to navigate life's chaos with more control, more clarity, and more compassion for yourself. It's about training your mind the way you train your body. You wouldn't expect to lift 200 pounds without practice. So why expect to handle grief, disappointment, rejection, and anxiety without emotional reps? So start small, start with awareness. Notice your triggers instead of judging them. Start with breathing. When your heart races, pause. Inhale slowly. Reset. Start with boundaries. You don't have to be everything to everyone. And start with truth, not the lies your fear tells you, but the truth your strength is whispering underneath. That you're still here, that you've survived every hard day before this one, that you're more capable than you think. Now, you don't have to do this alone. Find support, talk to someone, journal, pray, meditate, walk, reflect, or hire a coach. Build habits that refill you instead of draining you, because emotional fitness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what allows you to show up with grace when things fall apart. It's what gives you space between the trigger and the reaction. It's what keeps you grounded when the people around you are losing themselves. Life doesn't ask if you're ready, it just comes. With its heartbreak, its curveballs, its beautiful chaos. But when you've built that emotional strength, when your mind is trained, your heart is anchored, and your spirit is steady, you won't just survive it, you'll grow through it. So if no one ever told you how to build emotional fitness, let this be the moment you start. Not someday, not when feelings settle down, but today. Because resilience isn't about being unshaken. It's about rising again and again, no matter how many times you fall. That strength lives in you. Train it, nurture it, trust it. You're stronger than you think. Self-doubt doesn't scream, it whispers. It whispers when you look in the mirror and wonder if you're enough. It whispers when you have an idea but talk yourself out of sharing it. It whispers when you scroll through social media comparing yourself to everyone else and thinking, they've got something I don't. But you are not broken, you are not lacking, you are simply human, and self-doubt is a part of being human. The goal isn't to erase it completely. The goal is to not let it win. Because self-doubt doesn't leave on its own. You have to build your way out of it day by day, brick by brick, habit by habit. So let's talk about how. Let's talk about what you can do every single day to remind yourself that you are capable, you're worthy, and you are enough. Let's start with your mornings. Before the world has a chance to speak to you, you speak to you. Wake up and remind yourself who you are. This doesn't have to be fancy. It's just 1 minute in the mirror saying, I can do hard things. I am still growing. I've survived every tough day so far. This might feel silly at first, but repetition rewires the brain. And if you've spent years doubting yourself, it'll take daily truth to undo the damage. Next, move your body. Not for punishment, but for power. Doesn't have to be much, just move, stretch, walk, lift, dance. Movement reminds your brain that you're alive, that you're strong, that you're in control of something. Then do one thing that proves your effort. Self-doubt thrives in inaction, but confidence builds in motion. So even if it's tiny, do one thing every day that supports your goals. Write one paragraph, apply for one opportunity, practice for 10 minutes, clean one drawer. Doesn't matter what it is. What matters is you're showing up. Now remember, self-doubt is fueled by harsh self-talk. So every time you catch yourself thinking that I'm not good enough, answer back with, I'm getting better. You don't need to lie to yourself. You just need to speak with hope, not hate. I mean, you wouldn't talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself. So change the voice in your head because you hear it more than anyone else does. Another daily practice is surround yourself with truth tellers. That means real friends, people who remind you what you're capable of, not just when you win, but when you fall. You don't need a cheering squad, you need a team that holds you up and holds you accountable. And track your wins, not just the big ones, but the small ones, the ones no one sees. Keep a proof journal, write down one thing each day that proves you're making progress, even if it's slow. You know what? Especially if it's slow, because you're going to need the reminders. When doubt shows up, you'll have the evidence to fight with it. And finally, end each day with grace and gratitude. Don't beat yourself up for what you didn't do. Look at what you did. Self-doubt feeds on shame, so feed yourself with compassion instead. You're not behind, you're not failing, you're learning, you're growing. And you're still here, and that alone makes you stronger than you realize. Self-doubt doesn't vanish overnight, but it doesn't have to control your life. With the right habits, you don't just silence the voice, you rise above it. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be consistent. Remind yourself, you've got this, you can handle this, you're ready. Life is hard. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to set you free. Because once you accept the reality, you stop waiting for things to get easy. And you start choosing the kind of hard that leads somewhere worth going. Working out is hard, but so is feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. Saving money is hard, but so is living paycheck to paycheck. Having tough conversations is hard, but so is bottling everything up and letting resentment eat away at you. You see, the idea that you can avoid pain by doing nothing is a lie. Because if you don't pick your hard, life will pick it for you. And the hard that life picks usually comes with regret. It's regret for what you didn't start, regret for who you didn't become, regret for knowing deep down you had more in you, but you let fear or comfort keep you still. Now, choosing your hard doesn't mean your life becomes a constant struggle. It means you become intentional. It means you understand that growth isn't supposed to feel easy. It means you stop blaming the world for your circumstances and start owning your path forward. Look, no one wakes up excited to face discomfort. But the people who build great things in their bodies, their relationships, their businesses, their minds, they have one thing in common. They stopped asking for it to be easy. They started asking, is this hard worth it? And when the answer is yes, that's when your life starts to change. You stop skipping workouts. You stop making excuses for a job you hate. You stop staying quiet when you know you should speak up. Because now you know that comfort comes with a price. It costs you your potential. It costs you your confidence. It costs you the pride that only comes from showing up when you didn't feel like it. But understand though that hard doesn't last forever. Eventually the workouts get easier. The discipline becomes routine and the uncomfortable conversations bring peace. But only if you pick your heart and stick with it. So ask yourself, what pain am I avoiding that's just keeping me stuck in another kind of pain? Or what challenge am I postponing, hoping it magically disappears? Because it won't. And the longer you wait to choose your hard, the more you are living on someone else's terms. Everything doesn't have to change in a day, but you need to start somewhere. Pick one thing you've been putting off and lean into it. The kind of hard that stretches your mind, strengthens your discipline, and sharpens your character. Because when you look back years from now, you won't remember how tired you were. You won't remember how sore or scared you felt. You'll remember that you chose to take control of your life, and that made all the difference. So no, life's not easy, but you do get to choose your hard. And when you choose it with purpose, when you face it with courage, and when you walk into it with your head high, you don't just survive it, you become stronger because of it. And that strength becomes your story. That becomes your freedom. And that's worth every step. You've probably heard the saying, success leaves clues. And it's true. There are books, podcasts, YouTube channels, mentors, step-by-step courses, and real-life stories all around you. These are tools, resources, proven roadmaps. But here's what most people don't want to admit, is that none of that matters if you don't do the work. You can binge motivational videos for hours. You can highlight every line in a self-help book. You can take notes at every seminar, sign up for every free guide, and follow every influencer. But if you don't take action, you're just pretending. You're consuming instead of creating. You're learning instead of living. There's a trap that a lot of people fall into, and it feels productive. They're constantly studying, watching, planning. They say things like, I'm getting ready, or I'll start when I finish this course. But truthfully, they're hiding behind preparation, hiding behind fear. But let me tell you, you don't need more information, you need more action. You already know what to do. You've heard the message 100 times. Wake up earlier, take care of your health, focus, work on your craft, be consistent. You know this, but are you doing it? That's the difference between people who talk about success and people who actually achieve it. It's execution, effort, and reps. The truth is, no one's coming to save you. No mentor, no video, no perfect program will make up for a lack of discipline. Yes, success leaves clues, but you still have to follow them. And that means getting your hands dirty. It means staying committed when the excitement wears off. It means pushing through when the results don't come fast enough. You want a better body? The gym is right there, but you've got to show up. You want to build a business? The tools exist, but you've got to hustle. You want peace of mind? The habits are proven, but you've got to practice them daily. There's no shortcut. There's no secret. There's just the work. And here's the good news. You can start flawed. You don't have to know everything. You just have to start. Start messy. Start unsure. Start small, but start. And then keep going. Even when it's boring, even when you're tired, even when no one's clapping. Because success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who work. Those who show up again and again, even when it's tough. Those who are willing to fail forward, learn, and get back up. So if you're feeling stuck, Stop asking for another blueprint. Look at the mirror and ask, am I doing the work? Not thinking about it, not planning it, not talking about it, doing it. This is your reminder. Yes, success leaves clues and you're smart enough to see them. But more than that, you're strong enough to follow through. No more excuses, no stalling, no more waiting for the right moment. The time is now, the path is yours, but the work is still on you. Why do people wait until the last minute? Why do we do this? The deadline is looming, the clock is ticking, and suddenly we're scrambling to get everything done at the last possible moment. Why do we wait until the pressure is unbearable before taking action? First, understand this. Waiting until the last minute isn't a sign of laziness or incompetence. It's human nature. There are deep psychological reasons behind the habit, and the good news is you can break free from it. One major reason why this happens is the illusion of time. When a deadline is far away, we tell ourselves there's plenty of time to get started. Then we underestimate how long things take, and then we overestimate our future motivation. We think I'll feel like doing it later. But when later comes, we still don't feel like it, and suddenly we're out of time. Another reason is the adrenaline rush. Some people work best under pressure. The ticking clock forces them into hyperfocus, and they produce results fast. But this isn't sustainable. It creates unnecessary stress, and it lowers the quality of work. Then there's perfectionism. Ironically, perfectionists often procrastinate the most. They fear starting because they worry it won't be good enough. So instead of tackling the task bit by bit, they avoid it altogether until they have no choice. And finally, distractions play a huge role. Think of social media, TV, endless scrolling. They all provide instant gratification, while real work requires effort. Our brains seek out what feels good now rather than what benefits us in the long run. So if you struggle with last-minute habits, know this: you're not alone. Studies show that around 20% of people identify as chronic procrastinators, and almost everyone has moments of putting things off. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. It prioritizes what feels easy, not necessarily what's important. But normal doesn't mean good. Procrastination steals your peace of mind. It turns what could be a steady, controlled effort into a frantic, stressful mess. It eats away at your confidence and makes you doubt yourself. The great news is you can overcome it. Let me give you the steps. First, start small. The hardest part of any task is getting started, so make the first step ridiculously easy. Need to write a paper? Just open a blank document and type one sentence. Need to clean the house? Start with one corner of a room. Action creates momentum. Number 2 is you can set some fake deadlines. If you always wait until the last minute, trick yourself by setting an earlier deadline. Tell yourself it's due 2 days before the real due date. The mind responds to urgency, so create it artificially. Number 3 is use the 5-minute rule. If you feel resistance towards a task, commit to working on it for just 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you'll usually want to keep going. Number 4 is make it fun. Find ways to enjoy the process. Play music while working, set small rewards, or make a game of it. The more pleasant something feels, the less you'll avoid it. Number 5 is visualize the outcome. Imagine how good it will feel to have the task done. Instead of focusing on the struggle of starting, focus on the relief and pride of finishing. And finally, number 6 is hold yourself accountable. Tell someone your goal. Accountability makes it harder to back out. If you say, I'll have this done by Friday, you're more likely to follow through. Procrastination is a habit. It's not a life sentence. The same way you've trained yourself to work under pressure, you can train yourself to work ahead of schedule. The next time you catch yourself putting things off, ask, what's the smallest step I can take right now? And then take it. Because when you stop waiting for the last minute, you start taking control of your future. And that's where success begins. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you're choosing your pain. It sounds strange, doesn't it, to think that pain is unavoidable. But that's the deal. You either carry the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret. And the truth is, one of them weighs ounces while the other will crush you. Let me show you what I mean. Picture someone waking up before dawn, lacing up the running shoes and hitting the pavement while the rest of the world sleeps. The alarm clock blares at 5 a.m. and believe me, it's tempting to stay under the covers. But they get up day after day. Why? Because they know discipline is tough, sure, but it's temporary. Sore legs, early mornings, skip parties, all those are small prices to pay for health, confidence, and longevity. Now picture the opposite. Someone who kept saying, I'll start tomorrow, until years slip by and the doctors deliver the bad news. The stairs become a challenge. Energy disappears. That's the pain of regret. And unlike discipline, regret doesn't go away after a good night's sleep. It lingers. It rewinds the clock in your mind and forces you to replay all the moments you should have chosen better. One is pain now, the other is pain forever. And this goes far beyond fitness. Think about relationships. The pain of discipline looks like showing up, having the hard conversations, being vulnerable, making the effort to call, to listen, to care even when you're tired. Yes, that takes work. It takes discomfort. But the alternative? Well, it's waking up one day realizing you've let the best people in your life slip away because you were too busy, too distracted, too unwilling to invest the time. Regret stings and it sticks. Or what about your dreams? How many people sit in traffic on the way to a job they can't stand thinking, I should have tried, but they didn't. They let fear win. The discipline to chase a dream meant late nights, early mornings, rejection, and failure. It sounded like too much, so they stayed comfortable. And now, they feel trapped in a life that doesn't fit. That's regret. But here's the good news. Discipline pays you back. It might demand something up front, a sacrifice of time, comfort, ego. But what you get in return is freedom, pride, results that last. It's like planting seeds. You don't see much at first. It feels slow, but you keep watering, and one day you're standing in the middle of a life you actually want, built by your own hands. Discipline is sharp, but short. Regret is dull, but endless. So which pain are you choosing today? Because make no mistake, choosing neither isn't an option. If you refuse the small daily discomfort of discipline, you're signing up for the heavier, lasting weight of regret. It's the law of effort. There's no shortcut, no cheat code. You get what you work for and you pay the price, one way or the other. So decide. Wake up a little earlier. Push yourself a little harder. Make the call. Take the leap. Apologize. Start the book. Sign up for the class. Say no to the easy way out. Choose discipline now. And years from today, you'll look back, not with regret, but with pride. Pride that you did the hard things. pride that you stuck with it, and pride that you didn't let discomfort steal your future. Because that's the real win, not just living, but living without regret.